Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another Inside Lowell Daily Pulse, the Friday, February 14th, 2025 edition of the Daily Pulse, Valentine's Day edition of the Daily Pulse, our first ever. Can you feel the love? Can you feel the love in the air? Yeah, probably not over here, but maybe, just maybe, for the person sitting in my guest host seat this morning. People are feeling the love for...
I'm feeling the love in this room.
Are you? Okay,
yeah, I have a little bit of red on. I have my pink mug. Yeah, I'm ready.
You're ready to roll.
Milo's been up since 5:45 this morning because he was so excited to know what he was getting for Valentine's Day.
Oh, from you or
from me?
From school?
No,
from all his
me.
classmates?
Yes, yeah.
Ah.
So I said, it's not Christmas. Here's a little something, guys.
Have a chocolate, kid. Danielle McFadden, president of the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. Media personality as well, but now you've added one more title to your resume, Lowell School Committee candidate.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to talk about with you, at least to start, and then we'll have a little fun with Valentine's Day, and we'll bring in a special guest.
Yes. How did we manage that?
She's very shy. She doesn't like to talk, but we're going to drag her on in here. So we'll have a little fun on Valentine's Day. First, let me thank our Daily Pulse sponsors. Of course, we start with Real Estate Ray Booten. Ray is a licensed realtor in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. He is a certified appraiser in both of those states as well. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home or a commercial property, Real Estate Ray Booten is your man. Find him online at realestaterayBooten.com. Thank you as well to our friends at WellPoint. WellPoint is the only health plan offering health care benefits exclusively to Massachusetts GIC members. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. We thank WellPoint for hosting us here in the WellPoint studios. Of course, we thank Ray for sponsoring the Daily Pulse, and we'll talk about our other podcast sponsors in a little bit as well, but we want to get right down to it with Danielle. So, I mean, I've known you forever, no secret, right?
Yes.
Friends, right? Do you want to admit that as you're running a political campaign?
We are friends, yes.
Okay. Yes. But you're a candidate, and I need to know where you stand on some issues. Okay. But as always, we start the discussion with any candidate, any first-time candidate, of which you are, with the basic question. Who are you, and why do you want to serve on the Lowell School Committee?
Excellent. Well, I'm Danielle McFadden, lifelong Lowell resident, currently residing in 𝗗𝗶𝗆𝘆 for the past 14 or so years, 3 young children, and obviously been at the Chamber for many years, about 14 years, and want to give back. And the school committee currently lacks a parent's perspective. There is nobody currently on the school committee that has children in the Lowell public school system. So I really want to bring that voice and perspective of a parent to the school committee.
Okay. And you're running for an at-large seat, which means anybody in the city, regardless of district, ward, or whatever, can vote for you. There are 2 seats currently occupied by longtime school committee members Connie Martin, Jackie Doherty, and you're running. We haven't heard anybody else's name, though there are some rumblings behind the scene. So what are going to be the main issues in your campaign? What issues drove you to run?
I think having readily available resources for parents. It's really hard for parents sometimes to find the resources that they need, and that's kind of across the board in so many different areas. But I'm always having parents come up to me and say, when are basketball tryouts? When is this happening? So I've always kind of had that connection with the local families and parents. So I would like to do that on a larger level. Mental health and special needs supports within our school system. My family has personally struggled with getting those resources, and I'm very well connected, and I have a hard time finding these resources. So what about the parents who aren't, working for the Chamber of Commerce with members that do these types of things, or a family who just came here from Haiti or another country to be able to find these resources is very difficult for them. So how can we really broaden these resources and make them the information available? I also think AI in education is going to be something that, and I wrote an article about it. I want to be very forthright in saying I don't think that it's going to be the be-all or end-all for us. I don't think it's the only important issue, but I do think that it is heavily changing, evolving with it on a daily basis. And if we don't embrace it and think of how we can thoughtfully implement it into our school system, we're going to fall behind pretty quickly.
And thank you for reminding me, by the way, one of the other things on your resume is you are one of our original insiders here at Inside Lowell. You've been a contributor since day one, and you continue to write some articles. And I noticed you wrote one about AI, which I want to talk about because I almost feel like I spurred that article with a little, dare I say, difference of opinion that we had over AI's role. But for folks who are interested, Danielle will continue to write for us as anybody else can. And then once we get to within a period before the primary or preliminary election, if there is one, you will not. And then the general election, certainly. There's a time period. We follow federal election guidelines. I've always done that, whether I was doing radio or now here at Inside Lowell. Technically, they don't apply. I found out like many years afterwards, they don't apply to municipal elections or even state elections, I don't believe. It's just federal elections. But I think, though, in the interest of fairness, that's something that
I totally agree.
We're going to do as well. You mentioned you've got kids in the system. With that in mind, you've had, what do you get, second grade and fourth grade now? Second and third, okay. And you had a third one at one time in the system. So you've had many years to see how the system works.
Yes.
And you went through that same system for a period, right? At Lowell High?
I went to Lowell High.
You went to Lowell High?
Yep.
Okay. So you don't have the high school level yet, but what have you seen? What is different today than when you were in schools?
I mean, I think family dynamics has changed a lot. The diversity in Lowell. I went to a Catholic school for kindergarten through 8th, so I don't have that experience of, being in the public schools during that. But I was adamant about when I had my own children that I wanted them to go through the Lowell public school system. I think it's really important. One thing that I really love about Pawtuckaville Memorial, and I would think and hope this applies to all the schools throughout the system, is that the communication is good, that there is a sense of school pride. And I want that school pride to translate to our entire community. And I think that we could use Lowell Public Schools as a point of pride for everybody in our community, to bring our community into our schools, to have people attending games and plays and really taking ownership of these students.
Showing off some school pride.
Yeah.
If you had to give the Lowell public school system a grade from your experience, what would you grade it?
I think the school system is doing great. I'd probably give it a B. I think there's always room to improve and grow. And we have had, some hiccups when it comes to like mental health accessibility, special needs accessibility. So there's always room to improve. But I have been impressed by the teachers, the faculty, the staff, the administration. Mm-hmm.
When we announced your candidacy on Inside Lowell, and if folks want to kind of go back and see it, that was you got in early, right?
I did, like in November,
like right after the election that had the whole country up in arms. You announced your candidacy, and then everything goes quiet for the holidays and whatnot. But there were a lot of folks who commented on that. It kind of started to bring up some education issues, and one thing that's been out there a lot is the scores. How Lowell school students are rating when it comes to these standardized tests. And they're struggling, as a lot of gateway communities are. But one area in particular, and we're starting to hear from some parents from the Latino Hispanic community, is those students are struggling. We had Liam Skinner on the other day, the school superintendent. He talked about how generally with poverty, the poorer people are, there's a correlation with the test scores, and he's making that a focus. But especially in the Latino community, how are you going to be able to work to get that experience of these parents whose kids are struggling to be equal to your positive experience when you were there, or your positive experience with your kids there now?
I think it's having conversations with those parents and really being a voice for them, listening to what they're saying and advocating for them if I am lucky enough to be elected. So when I'm sitting in a school committee meeting, having this information, having their experiences is so important. I would be one parent on the school committee. How many students in the school system? 12, 14,000. I mean, it's a big school system, and it's important for every kid to have access to the same quality education. Mm-hmm.
And there was one comment that I'm going to give you a chance to address. Somebody said, well, what does a business background have to do with somebody's ability to be a good school committee member or know about education? You're not running on your business background. If you were, you run for city council, I would think.
Yes.
What's kind of the strength that you're going to fall back on in terms of what you're going to bring to the committee? Is it simply the fact that you're a parent?
I mean, that's certainly a part of it. And I think I do have the business background where I have the partnerships with a lot of these different organizations and even the university, the community college, the city, so that we can bring the right mix of partners to the table that can help enhance the experience for our students. So I think that is really important. But I think the parent piece is a big part of it. And also somebody that is from Lowell, that has grew up in Lowell, that has seen Lowell through all its different changes, and somebody that like just really cares about the community and really cares about our students.
That you certainly do. Your people can very easily find you at events long before you became a candidate, and I imagine your schedule will only ramp up. We're chatting with Danielle McFadden, president of the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. We'll talk a little bit about that role in a few minutes, and we'll bring in a special guest, but we're talking with Danielle McFadden, Lowell School Committee candidate. All right, AI. Artificial intelligence. You wrote an article that also drew some heat, some folks who, thought the way I thought when we kind of had a casual conversation in here in the office about how is artificial intelligence going to benefit kids? I think it's going to hurt education. First of all, kids will be able to cheat really easily when writing a paper, but also it's going to get them to stop thinking because AI will do the thinking for them. You disagreed, and then you put pen to paper, for lack of a better term, outlining why.
I think that we have to look at it from both perspectives. We can't go into it and say, like, somebody commented like that I'm the AI candidate, and I think that AI is the be all and end all. I'm loosely on those words, but something to that line. I think that it's important for us. It's not going to go anywhere. It's worldwide. If we want to keep up with our system, the state, the country, the world, we need to figure out how to thoughtfully use this. It doesn't mean that I think that our students should be in front of a computer all day long. I don't think that. I'm a parent. I don't want my kids in front of screens all day long. But if we don't embrace this in a thoughtful way, then we are going to fall behind. And our kids right now are going to have jobs in the future that we have not even imagined or thought of. We need to prepare them for the world. And the world today is not what it's going to look like in a year, 5, 10, 20 years. So I just think it's really important for us to see the positives and the benefits and how we can use AI in education.
Around the time that I had this discussion with you and you wrote the article, within a couple of days, somebody else I know in a professional capacity in a medical field talked to me about how they're starting to do runs with AI and in terms of taking notes and other types of things. And it did reinforce something that I did believe, that it's here. It's not going away. Right. It will become a bigger part of everybody's life, whether we like it or not. So if we don't learn how to harness it, we're going to put our kids at an even bigger disadvantage. Correct. Competing against the rest of the world and maybe other states and other communities that are doing it. The challenge, of course, is figuring out how do you avoid making the kids not thinking, right, and getting them to think and how to use AI to their advantage. That's the real challenge. And I imagine it's going to take some kind of an investment in terms of technology and equipment within the schools as well. Are you fully committed to making those type of investments and trying to find the money, even if it has to come at the expense of something else?
If we like you said, we don't want our kids to be at any disadvantage. If we don't look at this and commit to it, then we're going to fall behind incredibly quickly. It's incredible to see how advances in AI change on a daily, weekly basis. I mean, you could subscribe to podcasts where every day they talk about how AI has changed over the past day or two.
It is.
We need to talk about it now, or else we are going to fall behind very quickly. 100%.
Facilities has been a big topic of discussion. Well, not just recently, but for a long time in the city of Lowell. First of all, your kids go to the Pawtucketville schools that have been kind of front and center in the news, correct? So you understand the challenges there. Where did the city and the school department go wrong in terms of the facilities maintenance, and where do they need to start going to get it right?
I mean, I think that this has been an issue for so many years now. It goes back decades. Not just, within this current administration. So I think that our schools, first of all, we need to make the investments for them to be up to par. And then we need to continue to upkeep and maintain our buildings. And that's something that just simply hadn't been happening. Putting patches on at 𝗗𝗶𝗹𝘆 and the gym roof. There were leaks in the roof. The kids would go into the gym and there would be, buckets. Some of those things are being fixed and hopefully maintained so that we're not in the same situation.
A lot of talk on the city council floor about a centralized facilities department that would be responsible for all the school buildings. The city owns the schools, I don't know, rent them or whatever.
Yeah.
The agreement is a contract there. And from my understanding with Superintendent Skinner the other day, the schools, they have a custodial staff that's responsible for cleaning them, but in terms of the upkeep, that's not in their job description. So there's a lot of different proposals being floated, and there does seem to be momentum on the city council side. Should the school committee cede some control over these employees, which currently right now the custodial staff is technically under the school's side, if I'm not mistaken, right? Paul George is the United Teachers of Lowell. They does the contract negotiation. So technically the schools kind of control the custodians. Is it a good idea to cede control? Should the schools try to gain more control and more staffers to handle their own buildings and not fall behind the city in the pecking order of what needs to be fixed?
I think we need to look at what's going to be the most efficient, what's going to get us to our end goal. Look at all the different options. I don't have the particular option that I would choose at this point. I think it's important to have the conversations, to look at all the different scenarios and to ensure that nobody that currently has a position, whether it's on the city side or the school side, is going to lose their position or, anything like that. We have to look at people's livelihood, but also at what's best for these buildings, the school system, the city, and what's going to be the most efficient way to get to the end goal of keeping our schools maintained.
Has the school committee been active enough in making sure that the high school project, which very much publicized over the last couple of months, some of the issues there, and a lot of the focus is on the school building committee, a lot of the focus is on the city council, which is ultimately handling the finances and all that. Has the school committee been doing its part to make sure that the oversight, to make sure that the construction, the layout, everything falls in line with the school committee's goals for the Lowell Public Schools?
It's a loaded question, I think, because everybody's just looking at where we are with costs, where we're going to end up, what's going to happen. I think the school committee has been doing a decent job. I think that if I am lucky enough to be elected, that I would want to be a part of those conversations ongoing, attending building committee meetings and playing a role. Yeah. And that is important. And what a project and what an opportunity for our students.
Right. And you would, if successful, you would be sworn in January of 2026. The school is slated to open in August of that year. So a lot of the die has been cast.
Yeah.
But are you nervous at all that some of these change orders cutting into contingency funds mean that we're going to get to the quote unquote value engineering part of it, which is code for cutting out something we promised?
I mean,
we can't afford to put it in.
I hope that doesn't happen. And I know there's been talks about, is it going to be opened in time? I think the important thing is to make sure that we do this right. And not cut corners. Because, I went to high school when we had the 1980 building, and I was in high school in the late 90s, early 2000s, and there was already a plethora of issues in this building. That was a fairly new building. That is now gone.
There were literal leaky roofs within a couple of years. I remember my cousins who went there telling me about it. And I remember when I first was playing basketball there, I'd kind of look up and go, oh, where's the leaky roof?
Yeah, that shouldn't happen. These are major investments, taxpayer dollars statewide, and we need to make sure that these investments are going to have a livelihood of decades, span decades without looking up and seeing a leaky roof and having your cousins in the 80s looking up and being like, oh, my cousin, that roof is leaking.
Now it's my cousin's kids who are telling me about what's going on in the school.
Well, everybody's telling you about what's going on, not just your cousin's kids.
If folks want to learn more about your campaign, your candidacy, the issues that you're going to focus on, and besides the ones we chatted about today, the city, a number of them are going to pop up in the coming days, weeks, and months.
Absolutely.
How do they learn more about you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Danielle McFadden for Lowell. You can give me a call at 978-337-0498. You can shoot me an email, Danielle McFadden for Lowell at gmail.com. And I'm having a fundraiser on April 3rd at Mount Pleasant. So I'd love to see everybody there.
All right. You got one scheduled already.
I do. Yes.
All right.
April 3rd.
Yeah.
So
And you had your Facebook and website and all this fun stuff up like right away. You're on top of the game.
I want people to feel like they can go there and really, really get to know me. I want to be completely transparent and let people know me and my family, and I want to get to know them and their families and how I can best represent them and make them truly feel like their voices are heard. That's so important for a parent, to feel like you have a say and input in your child's education. And I want every family to feel like Lowell Public Schools is a good place for their children.
And it is. It is.
I believe so.
As you said, I
Yeah.
think the thing I like the most that you said is we can always strive to be better. I like that.
Absolutely.
All right. Danielle McFadden, candidate for Lowell School Committee. Thank you for joining us on the
Thank you for
Inside Lowell
having me.
Daily Pulse. I want you to go into your alternate persona now, Danielle McFadden, Madame President.
All right.
And Big Fun Friday co-host of mine. And we're going to bring in a special guest co-host as well in a quick second. Let me just first tell everybody about our Inside Lowell Daily Pulse sponsors. Of course, it starts with Ray Booten, licensed realtor in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, certified appraiser in both of those states as well. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home or a commercial property, Real Estate Ray Booten is your man. Find him online, realestaterayBooten.com. Thank you as well to our friends at WellPoint. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. Washington Savings Bank. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. It's banking that feels like home. So much like home that you get this nice little, this is what I get. You'll get, if you open up a qualified checking account, you'll get a AAA roadside emergency kit. I like the coffee mug better, but hey. TMI Properties, quality and value at every price point. Find your perfect space with TMI. Mahoney Oil, providing warmth and protection to Greater Lowell and Southern New Hampshire since 1925. And of course, on our Facebook page, we dubbed this Filler Up Friday. Every Friday is Filler Up Friday. Snowstorm coming tomorrow. Fill up at Mahoney Oil, conveniently located just off the Lowell Connector. The Greater Lowell Community Foundation, improving the quality of life in Greater Lowell through strategic, impactful philanthropy. Francis E. Prevention Insurance, the agency Greater Lowell has counted on since 1982. And last but certainly not least, by the Massachusetts Pirates, bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to the Mill City. It's February 14th, Pirates season opener, March 21st at the Songus Center. And with that, let me turn back to now my two special
First,
guests.
I want to see what's in here.
Today. It's just water.
I don't know.
It's just water. Yes. Yesterday, I actually had coffee in it, which is the first time it's had coffee. But Linsey Former is joining us here in the studios as well. Linsey, you may recognize from a couple of young podfessional podcasts.
Yes.
We got to get you guys back in the studio.
I gotta turn her mic up.
Oh, I should turn up her microphone. Huh? Yeah, that would
There we
help.
go.
Good thing I've got another co-host in here too. But how are you, Linsey?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're a little nervous about getting dragged into this, aren't you? Why?
Because you wouldn't tell me what I'm doing.
Well, we've got some, we're going to talk about some Chamber of Commerce events, and you work for the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce among your other 27 jobs that you have out there. But we also have Danielle's put together some Valentine's Day special questions, love it or leave it.
Okay.
Which we're going to get to in just a quick second. I want to talk a little bit about a poll that we just posted on InsideLowell.com. Check it out. I posted it this morning, and it follows up on a story that we reported yesterday. Lowell City Council agenda this week has Rita Mercier asking the council to enter into a contract extension negotiations with City Manager Tom Golden. So we asked on InsideLowell.com, do you think the City Council should extend Manager Golden's contract? Yes or no? We'll see where it goes, and then Tuesday we'll see what the councilors think. But it would make one of my predictions come true that I made on the very first,
all right.
very second Daily Pulse. I predicted that he was going to get, Marty Laurie was saying he thinks he's going to be rough seas ahead for the manager. I made a prediction. I think he's getting an extension, much more likely than rough seas ahead.
I mean, there's so many things happening in Lowell. And Tom's such a visionary, so it would make sense extend it so that he
That's
has.
the word Ray Booten and I used yesterday.
Yes, well, it's true, and to have that continuity within the city, especially when you're working with the front runner, all the folks from the front runner city to know that they have that same person in that position. I think it's going to be pretty important.
All right. School committee doesn't get a vote on that, though. So
I do not get a vote on that.
You can only
no.
cheerlead from the side.
Okay.
All right. Wave your pom-poms as another insider.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
Yes.
I didn't make the cheerleading squad, so I have no pom-poms.
Yeah, I've seen you. You don't have the coordination to be a cheerleader.
This is not a roast, Teddy.
That's true. We already did that. Winterfest is coming up. Chamber of Commerce always involved in these big events. It's a weekend, starts 1 week from today.
It does.
Don't hibernate. Come celebrate.
25th anniversary.
They've been posting some good old videos and photos, and it's amazing. We've been doing this for 25 years. But then again, the Folk Fest is
before
how many
Linsey
years?
was even born.
She's just a baby. What's your favorite part of Winterfest?
I think just seeing people enjoying the downtown, seeing the businesses bustling. Last year I loved the ice sculptures. That was really fun.
That was the ice sculptures, and they got these fire people out there as well now. That's new.
So I think just bringing it back to the heart of downtown Lowell has been really a great segue from, a little off the beaten path.
Yeah, the condensed footprint, bringing it a little bit closer. The auditorium's a great venue. It offers an inside and outside stuff. But you're right, it is a little bit off the beaten path.
It's a great venue for the Irish Fest that they do in September. But I like having Winterfest downtown. Maybe just because that's where it originated. So
will you be there both days?
I would.
Will you have your Danielle McFadden for school committee bumper stickers on you, or pins, or whatever they are?
I don't have any of those yet, so no, I will not have a bumper sticker. I probably generally won't travel with a bumper sticker on my person.
Anything to get a QR code, whatever. How many Winterfests have you been to, Miss Former?
I used to go as a kid. I don't know how many times, but I do remember watching the human dog sled races. And
they got to bring those back.
It was so cool. I don't know. It was like my favorite part. Then I didn't go for a few years, and then I started going again now that I'm with the Chamber. So this will be my second Winterfest at the Chamber.
Oh. So if I've made a vow that if they bring back the dog sled races, I will live stream them.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you will be the musher.
Oh, no, you can't.
I think we should change that. Okay, everybody, comment.
No.
Teddy for dog sleds.
Nobody wants to see me trying to run on snow.
I do. I'm saying I do.
Nobody wants to have to pull a sled that has my fat ass sitting on it. So. But again, that's next weekend, Winterfest. Yes. Don't hibernate. Come celebrate February 21st, February 22nd in downtown.
They have some
Lowell.
really great swag on their website. So they're selling like Winterfest 25th anniversary sweatshirts and T-shirts.
Collector's items.
I mean, I'm definitely getting one.
All right, good. I'm glad. I want to keep this thing going because there was some talk a few years ago. There was a rough patch of weather, and there was talk about doing away with it. And thankfully, they, rather than doing away with it, they've experimented with a couple of things. And I think they've hit a home run.
I do.
With it a little bit. And if you do want to learn more about Winterfest, there's a podcast, Tea Time Podcast, Anisha Scarlett, talking with a couple of the Erin Duffy and Sophia Boucher, I believe, is how you pronounce the name. Did I get that right?
You did.
From the City of Lowell's Office of Cultural Affairs and Special Events. I know it's CASE, but I always forget those 4 words. But check it out on our InsideLowell.com or our YouTube channel, Tea Time Winterfest 2025. All right. Also, the two of you from the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
I know you've got a number of events. You're always running events and raffles, and people are winning prizes and money.
We are so fun
your
at the
famous
Chamber.
Little spinning wheel. So what's going on with the Chamber the rest of February, but also heading into the spring season?
Well, we have 11 events between now and the end of March so far. But Linsey, I feel like you're like constantly adding to the event calendar.
I'm in the process of adding more, so we'll see.
So
wait, 11 events
between
so there's only
today,
2 weeks left.
We have a Galentine's event today. Friday.
Galentine's.
Yeah, so we do a favorite thing swap. So everybody brings an item that's $25 or less of something that they love, and then it's like a Yankee swap.
Okay.
So Galentine's.
Galentine's Day's become like huge. I feel like as not a gal, I feel like I'm kind of left out of this. There's not a man's version of this, right? I think they call that the Super Bowl.
I think they call that fantasy sport. Yeah. You have it for like a longer period. We got 1 day.
DraftKings.
Yes. They call that DraftKings.
But there are actually like people making reservations for lunch at the Athena.
Really?
It's like I'm coming with my girlfriend so and like people that I know, and I'm like this is becoming like a thing now. Go out with the ladies in the day, have a Galentine's Day, and then have your romantic dinner tonight or tomorrow, right?
We'll see. I mean, we're doing Love It or Leave It Valentine's Day edition, so we may not be in agreement with these things.
All right.
We're gonna have to see. A couple of things that I'm excited about, and feel free to jump in at any point, but we started doing AI roundtables. So those are virtual events where we have members who have like really dove into the world of AI for their business, teaching our members about how they can use it. So we had one with Anne from 𝗗𝗶𝗹𝘆. She's in IT, and so she talked about kind of the nuts and bolts of AI and gave great resources. And then we have one coming up for AI for nonprofits with Dan Esdale. We're doing one with 𝗗𝗶𝗹𝘆 because they're doing a ton of work with AI. So we're excited about those. Those are all virtual. Anyone's welcome to attend. And we're also teaming up with the 𝗗𝗄 Career Center to do virtual sessions called the Employer Edge, where they talk about resources for businesses when they're looking to hire or retain employees. And those are going to be 30-minute sessions. So really quick.
Man, you're diving into that AI thing, right?
I kind of think of it how I did it with social media, right? When I started, right, even before I worked for the chamber, I said, we got to embrace this. This is not going anywhere. This is a huge opportunity. And it took years. I mean, I would have people be like, no, I'm not having a Facebook page. Somebody might say something bad. Somebody might give me 1 star. I am not doing this. And then I really made a point to educate, hundreds, if not thousands of people on how to use social media.
You were ahead of your time. As a matter of fact, you would launch the first social media marketing agency that I was aware of, using Facebook and other social media sites to promote businesses. So that's when you talk to me about AI and how I shouldn't be scared of it, I should kind of look at the benefits of it. I'm like, all right, well, Danielle is a little younger than I am and is a little bit more younger thinking. And no disrespect to you now, Rourke Bridge, but Linsey,
how rude.
Linsey is even another generation now. We've got old, we've got middle, and we've got young. Your career, you just launched your career a couple of years ago after graduating school. Your career is going to be dominated from here on out by this new technology, AI, and whatever follows afterwards. Are you nervous about that, or do you see it as an opportunity for people like you in your generation?
I'm a little mixed. I think that for me personally, I guess it's going to show with AI taking over kind of the quick, easy tasks. It's going to be up to people to utilize it to their benefit. And I guess that at the end of the day, it's going to show the importance of people skills and being able to still, the importance of face-to-face interaction, which AI can't do. It can't replicate that. So I guess at the end of the day, if you're someone who has that as a strength, then I wouldn't. Personally, I think I like to think that I have that, so I'm not too worried. But I'm also looking forward to using AI in the day-to-day, kind of like with quick tasks, and coming up with like brainstorming ideas and stuff that we already do in the office every day.
All right, take it from one of the younger generations. AI, not scary.
Take
it from the middle generation.
You're roasting me almost as bad. What is it? Grok? What's it?
Grok. Yeah.
So if you have an X account, click on that little Grok symbol and then click on the thing to roast you. Like if you tweet regularly. It was
brutal
it's
for me.
Wicked harsh. I read it. I was like, oh my gosh, do people really that about me?
Grok was not kind to me. All right, what else do you have for chamber events?
And then just a couple of other quick things. So we have our 5-day countdown calendar raffle happening now through February 28th. Every day we're raffling off a fun item, and then on the 28th at the Athenian Corner. Where's the bell? At the Athenian Corner, we're having an event where we're going to draw a winner for $5,000 cash. So
at our place,
yes.
we're gonna find out.
And then we're all gonna smash plates and scream "Oba."
Am I eligible?
Yes.
All right. Then remind me. It's not too late for me, is it?
No,
Okay,
people can still buy their tickets.
Okay.
So right now, the chances I think it's a 1 in 45 chance right now to win $5,000.
It's pretty
So
good.
I mean, that's
1 in 45 chance to win $5,000.
yes.
It's going to become 1 in 46 as soon as I
heard it. 1 in 46
on this, and let's see if we can get that a little bit more. How do folks sign
go
up?
to 𝗗𝗄𝗆chamber.org and it pops up right when you get on the website.
All right.
And then lastly, I just wanted to touch upon our Community Connections Breakfast. That's March 27th at the Hilton Garden Inn in Tewksbury. That features the city manager and then the town managers and the communities we cover. So that's always a fun event too, because at the end we do a lightning round.
I came to that last year, and I get to this. It's nothing funnier than these town officials dreading Danielle's lightning round.
So they get up, they kind of do like talk about what's happening in their communities, good things, bad things, and then at the end I hit them with a lightning round, and they don't know what I'm gonna say, and it's really fun.
Nobody ever knows what you're gonna say, Danielle. Before we get to love it or leave it, a little bit of feedback after yesterday's show. One person was not very pleased with what he termed the sponge bath that Ray Booten and I gave Tom Golden. Says, forget Tommy Taxes, 𝗗𝗋𝗆𝗆 says. After yesterday's podcast, I'm calling him St. Thomas of Taxes, the patron saint of tax and spend.
All right, I'm sorry, I still can't get the sponge bath thing. That's my
So that was always that's how they describe my interviews on the radio. They were, who are you giving a sponge bath to today?
Wow, all right.
So no sponge baths.
No
All right,
sponge baths.
but we do have love it or leave it.
Yes.
Special Valentine's Day edition. It's Valentine's Day, Friday, February 14th, 2025. So Danielle has a list of questions, and I guess we're going old and new to see if the generations are are on the same page here when it comes to amor, love.
Okay.
All right.
see.
So you have to let me know if you're gonna love it or leave it.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
So,
can we force the school committee candidate to chime in on this as well?
oh, I can
Yeah.
chime in.
Okay,
sure.
you have to.
Yeah.
All right.
So giving or receiving chocolates on Valentine's Day, love it or leave it.
Ladies first.
I mean, I like chocolate, so I guess love it.
But well, is it chocolate and not flowers and not
We have-
anything else,
well,
or
we
is it part of the package?
So we could do it as nothing else, and then I want to
Okay.
do it as a package. I kind of want to know your answers for both.
All right. So your
Nothing
guess on
else?
the chocolates?
Just chocolates
Just leave it.
with something else as part of a gift.
Oh, love it.
Okay.
All right.
God, now you're gonna make me look bad. I don't think I've given chocolates. I think I grabbed the little heart-shaped chocolate thing from the kids
Yes.
to to my wife, but I don't think I gift chocolates, and I definitely don't need them.
Yeah.
Because I would eat them. I would, and I'd probably go through the little containers to get the
You'd
the
poke
ones
your
with the
finger in them?
almonds. If there was green on my finger, I wouldn't eat it. I'd leave it for somebody else. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the chocolates.
Okay.
You got a sweet tooth?
I'm gonna leave it, but only love it for my kids, like getting my kids something. I'm not a huge Valentine's Day needing things, so if I'm giving them,
Well,
love
hopefully
it.
that changes.
No,
I mean, come
no.
on. You're a lady. You should, as a lady, you should demand to be spoiled on
I
Valentine's
feel
Day.
like I'd
Are
rather
we
just
listening, Nels?
No, I'd rather just be. I think like I'm a firm believer in this for like gifts for any holiday. Like even Christmas. Like I'd rather just if I find something that like makes me think of you or that I think is gonna make you happy, I'd rather just buy it and give it to you, and vice versa. Like I don't need it on a certain day.
That's tricky for a guy in a relationship.
Not if yesterday I was like, no cards, nothing, right? You good with that? Yep. You good with that? Yep. I'm good with that.
He
honestly.
better get your card.
No, I don't want a card. I don't want anything.
Riley and I have this all the time, and I always go get a present because I
No.
know what's gonna happen.
I really mean it. I really genuinely mean it.
Don't fall for the trap.
No,
guys.
it's not a
Maybe
trap.
Maybe
I am
Danielle
the
is
exception then. It is
but
not a trap. I don't want anything.
When she says, I don't want anything, that's a test.
It's not a
Don't
test.
flunk the test.
It's not a test.
Don't flunk the test. George, don't flunk the test.
It's not a test, but okay,
Didn't even
next.
talk about it.
Next.
All right.
Red roses as the go-to romantic flower. So is that like a love it, or should it be different flowers or no flowers?
New generation versus old school. Go ahead, Lindsay.
I mean, I like roses, but also I guess if you more creativity in the flower. I like a good flower arrangement,
All
a
right.
good bouquet,
You're more bouquet. That's how.
like
how
an assorted
Riley is, too.
yeah.
But you
I
got.
like
But you have
roses.
to put roses.
I'm
on
not really
Valentine's
picky.
Day, though, right?
I guess I don't really know.
See, I've gotten flowers like not for Valentine's Day, just like here I thought of you. I'd rather that than on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Same.
Again, every
Like,
woman says that.
on a
But you can't
Wednesday.
forget Valentine's Day.
You
though.
can though. You actually can. I really mean it.
Don't. She is not the typical woman. I'm telling you guys, do not fall for the trap. Maybe it's okay with Danielle, but you can't all be hanging around with Danielle. Don't fall for it.
I'll be hanging
Buy
around.
the flowers.
I'll be-
Trust
Oh my
me.
God.
Buy the flowers. Now, what's the? Let me ask a little spin-off of this though.
All right.
What's the best way to deliver the flower? If you're gonna buy the flowers, do you go for the show and send it at work.
Yes.
So that everybody else
No.
sees them.
Yeah, if you're
And
gonna
then-
do it big.
And the ones who don't get the flowers are then like going home, and it's not going to be a happy Valentine's Day
Yes.
for the guy who didn't send the flowers. You got to send them to work, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, you know.
I guess work here where it's just the three of us, I don't care. If it was like a busy office, oh my God, no.
Really?
I don't like attention. Like, no. So here I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
But like a big workplace setting, mm-mm.
By the way, I have noticed, ladies, there are no flowers out there in the main part of the office, and there aren't any here in the studio, which is
We thought you were gonna bring us each a rose. Thanks a lot, Teddy.
no. There's I only have one Valentine.
That's true. That's true. Very valid.
Well, actually, I have 1.5. I have to put little Ruby in it too. Yeah,
Yes.
it's my little Valentine.
Fancy Valentine's Day dinner reservations.
You read your little note that you put on there too.
Romantic or money? That was the chat JVT.
Oh, okay.
Romantic or money grab. I was gonna say, I think it's good for the local economy, so I think it's a good thing.
Oh.
But I don't need
Do you have a romantic Valentine's Day reservation
to
tonight?
not have a romantic. I have
Jesus, Nels.
I have a basketball game I have to go to.
Oh,
so.
that screams romance. Youth basketball or
Yes.
high school sports screams romance.
does.
Lindsay, do you have a Valentine's Day reservation?
Yes, behind the bar at the Athenian tonight.
Lindsay will be spending her Valentine's Day with me,
Yes.
working together at the Athenian Code Restaurant. She makes a mean romantic martini, though.
I do.
So, folks,
yes.
come on down if you're watching this today on Friday the 14th. Lindsay will be there from 6 till close, and she'll offer up some drinks with love.
Yes.
You've got it. I did the romantic Valentine's dinner last night. I very rarely have been able to go out on Valentine's Day, just because when you grow up in the restaurant
Yeah.
industry. And the one time I did, I sat in the remember, you would know Cafe Budapest, but it was a famous restaurant. It was actually in a movie scene. I'm hard pressed to remember the movie, but it was a famous.
When Harry Met Sally.
No.
It's a joke. Did you see that commercial?
Yes. God, they're both aged. Holy smokes. But I had my date that evening, and I were sitting, and the tables were all jammed together. So we were sitting next to another couple that was not having a romantic Valentine's Day.
no.
And the guy was trying to break up with her.
On Valentine's Day in a
made
packed
her
restaurant?
pay. Oh, yeah. He was being a pompous ass. And so the bill comes, and she pulls out the credit card. She goes into the wallet. He never even reached. She goes,
Yeah, alligator arms.
so she puts the credit card on the check and says, "You're welcome. Oh, and thank you for the gift I didn't get." And the guy, now I would have been, and he knew that we all heard this. Anyone sitting around him heard it. And I'll never forget, I gave the guy credit for the balls to say this. And he said to her, "My gift is perpetual." He said to her, it was such a great scene. Anyway, I digress.
It's like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Literally, he was trying to dump her.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he was trying to dump her, but I felt so bad for her. She was,
girl.
by the end, she was crying. It was
Wow.
not a good thing. The food was great, though. Cafe Budapest was a phenomenal restaurant for anyone who remembers it. All right.
Okay.
But yes, guys, take her to someplace nice. No disrespect to, the chains or whatnot, but, it's... Chili's, George. Chili's.
Would you like Applebee's on a date night with the
Someplace
Bourbon Street
nice.
steak and an Oreo shake?
Cobblestones are a great option here in Lowell, folks. And one of our sponsors here at Inside Lowell, Cobblestones. And then go to the Worthen for a nightcap because they're open late.
There we go.
How's that? Right?
That's great.
Lowell's oldest. And most historic tavern.
That is a fancy Valentine's Day dinner.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal thing.
Yeah.
All right. And if you can't get reservations, Athenian Corner is a great fallback as well. And Lindsay will make you
I'll get a
a
bar
martini
stool
made
for
with
you.
a lot of love.
So that brings me to another love it or leave it. Valentine's Day themed cocktails like pink margaritas, love potions.
I feel like themed cocktails are the thing now for everything, right?
I'm loving it.
Weddings, bridal
Loving
showers. Who's doing? Oh, the Golden Gloves are doing themed cocktails now. I believe.
Really?
Yes. If you follow the Gloves at
punch,
Lowell
that's an easy one.
Auditorium.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
right. But I
True.
mean that's very in. I had them at my, Riley and I had themed drinks at our wedding.
So are you loving it or leaving it?
I'm not a fan of it. Just
Leave it.
give me a beer.
Yeah.
Give me a beer or a glass of wine. Or an
I
espresso
really
martini.
I drink like a vodka soda or a beer. So I guess I like the creativity behind it, but I don't drink them.
All right. right.
Give me a
loving
creative
it.
martini instead of a themed drink, right?
Posting a long, sappy Valentine's Day post on social media. Love it or leave it.
Leave
Liz?
it. I hate it.
You
Leave
hate
it.
posting them, or you hate being the subject of the post?
Both.
You just don't like it, Ted. You don't.
I hate it.
Wow, this young generation is getting cold. I'm worried about no wonder Americans are having less and less babies. Where's the love? Where's the passion in that
I might
generation?
be the minority in thinking that. I don't know. Some of my friends, I know some friends and people who would be okay with that, but just not.
So when is it good to do those? I mean, I'm asking you ladies as advice, because I find I'll generally do it for my bride on Mother's Day, and usually her birthday, and actually and our anniversary. So now there's 3. Do you have to do Valentine's Day too?
I don't think you have. I think it makes
That's
some people feel bad. Or sometimes
Oh,
like,
the
or
person who
sometimes
doesn't
like
have someone posting.
or you see people that post and you're like, that post really that valid or legit?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who are you convincing? Not convincing me.
So you're a leave it.
I'm gonna leave it.
I'm a leave it on Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, but again, guys,
I feel like it's like a hallmark. Like,
Mhm.
okay,
pick at least 1 or 2 through the year, whether it's her birthday or anniversary or something, and you got to show the love. You have to. Again, these 2 are saying they don't want it. Well, actually, maybe Linsey, I believe, but I don't know about Danielle.
have I ever said something that I don't like? Okay, anyways, public marriage proposals.
Oh,
Ooh, it says at a sports game or social media. Imagine proposing on social media.
well,
Imagine if you did it on X, it would be gone in like 30 seconds.
well,
Be like, did you catch my proposal?
no, well, I think maybe like the trend now is everybody has somebody hiding in the weeds.
Yes.
Shooting
Yeah.
a video,
Yeah.
or they'll even hire a drone to. So like I've seen a bunch of those.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
what about just
Yeah.
dropping
Yeah.
to a knee or doing something else? Will you marry me in old traditional way?
I agree. Although I like if you're ever somewhere where somebody gets engaged, it's like really fun to watch. Like you feel like just excited for no. You don't feel excited if
I feel excited for them, but I also feel like not
Cringing?
secondhand embarrassment, but I feel like, oh my God, I would like be dead if I was
So
them.
you don't want to be proposed to on
In
the
front of people?
Celtics scoreboard?
No,
during
no,
a
no.
commercial timeout in
No.
the second quarter? No.
No, that sounds like hell.
Yeah. How about the kiss cam? Is the kiss cam,
Oh my God.
I would
is
do
that
the,
cheesy, or
I would do the kiss cam. If it came at me, I wouldn't look for it, but
Yeah, but you do it with a random guy sitting in the balcony. So
you got to give the people what they want. You're on the camera. They want to see some action.
yeah, hey, I'm with you. So that's interesting to me though. 2 ladies are telling me they're not into the romantic, post a proposal on social media, live or with the drone footage.
I mean, I guess if someone gets engaged to like afterwards post a picture. I mean,
Yeah.
usually you post like I don't know, everybody
You
posts
got to post the ring.
that you're
That's-
engaged. I don't know.
And it's not official.
close to
You're not
that.
officially engaged until you change your Facebook status, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You're something to say?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, I have
Has your
nothing.
Facebook status changed?
No.
Reese?
Are you making fun of me right now?
Nope, not at all. I think nothing screams romance like 2 a.m.
Okay, moving along. Stuffed animals as Valentine's Day gift. Leave it
I have done that in the past
to like a kid or like a girlfriend.
to a girl, a little, because my name was Teddy, so you buy the teddy bear.
Secondhand embarrassment.
Teddy's holding some candies, or Teddy's holding a heart.
So that
Listen, I'm
That is
59
so
years old.
cheesy.
Do you understand how much pressure was on men of my generation to be like romantic and have to do all these things because society expected it? It's a lot of pressure.
so
I'm scarred by that.
I want to know what she did with the teddy bear after. Was it like on the bed or was it like on the nightstand? Like, okay.
Well, that teddy bear was
Did it end
actually
up getting beheaded?
it was actually holding the engagement ring afterwards. Years
Oh.
later, that same teddy bear
Oh.
was holding the engagement ring. So teddy bear played a role
Oh.
in multiple things.
That's nice.
Yeah, I didn't do the drone footage.
That's-
I don't think
yeah.
there were drones in 2016, but anyway,
That's cute.
there's a lot of pressure. You
That's cute.
ladies
Yeah.
like you would make it easier for guys because they don't have to do this. But you sweat these details. The first gift, right? The first Christmas or the first birthday. Like, what do I buy? Do I do clothing? Do I do it's a lot of pressure. What if I get the size wrong? What if
Yeah,
I
that's
walk
the
into
worst.
Lane Bryant accidentally and buy a sweater, which I did for my sister one year. Anyway,
Okay.
my sister's about the size of my finger.
Yes.
And I bought her a Lane Bryant
I
sweater
mean, at
'cause
least she-
it looked good on the window mannequin.
Yeah, because it was like clamped. And you're like, that'll fit her. Okay, matching outfits on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay.
Can I tell you that I think the matching outfits on Christmas is also a bridge too far? If your kids, you can do it with your kids, yes, but when you see the family of 8 with everybody wearing the matching things, that's a lot. That's too much.
What about
thought.
matching pajamas? I kind of think that's cute.
Christmas morning? Yeah, for Christmas morning, but then you got to get out of them, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Couple more. Ordering pizza and binging TV instead of celebrating. Love it.
Sure.
Just sounds like a good Friday night.
I wouldn't mind that. Again, I don't have that possibility because I've got to work. But and then, well, actually, so I do my Valentine's dinner. I should try that next year.
Where did you go?
A place called Post something. It's out in Reading. It's
Oh yeah.
my wife's new favorite place. So
Oh, cool.
you
That's
gotta-
nice.
You got to do her favorite place.
Nice. Did you make the reservations and stuff without and said, okay, we're all set for Thursday? I made
No,
reservations.
she makes the
here," or-
reservations for us.
Good.
Because she goes online,
Yeah,
open
yeah.
table or whatever, and does it. I'm like, I do it the old-fashioned way. I call, they don't answer their phone.
Yeah.
and
I gotcha.
I'm old. Don't laugh at me, Lindsay.
Texting Happy Valentine's Day instead of an actual card. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The cards. So now are we talking about a Hallmark card? The additional, $27 expense because some of these cards.
I know,
like-
it's crazy.
They're all
Like,
musical and whatever nowadays instead of the 99-cent Hallmark card, or a little note. Specifically written, personally written that goes
that's
with the
another
flower
one.
delivery.
Handwritten love letters. Sweeter
Oh, a
rotated.
full love letter?
Oh.
Ooh, do people write those?
I feel like I would laugh if I was reading a love letter, like to me.
Actually, that's a
Like,
great
yeah, it
use
would-
for AI.
Yeah,
Oh.
my dad did that for my mom. He like had AI write a poem about her, and she was like touched by it, and then she found out it was by AI, and she was like, thanks.
Maybe I'll try that. I'll try. Your dad?
A very AI
generation.
A very AI Valentine's Day, I mean. And then lastly, champagne is the go-to romantic drink. Classic or cliche?
Cliche.
Cliche.
Gives me heartburn, so I don't drink champagne. Just the quick toast at somebody's wedding. But
Yeah.
it's
Champagne's like to celebrate,
Dude.
like an actual special,
Not like
occasion.
a Hallmark
Yeah.
holiday.
Yeah.
I also feel like it
Like-
used to be a bigger deal with my generation and generations older than me. Are kids drinking champagne
So how
for
in,
celebrations?
like
in
champagne.
mimosas, I feel like.
Right, it's more of a
Yeah.
mimosa than an actual champagne.
So how has Valentine's Day evolved over the past
100 years that I've
60
been alive.
years? 59.
It's getting a lot more expensive.
I know the average cost of a dozen roses on Valentine's Day in Massachusetts is $90. I read somewhere.
Darn,
They're 25 at Target in Nashua.
They're 20 at Market Basket.
Oh.
they're free at the cemetery.
Could also contact a local florist,
Yes, So,
including Wood Brothers.
which I do. Yes, the local florist is good. My buddy Joe up at 𝗗𝗶𝗆𝘆.
Nice.
He also has he's always been doing a cash and carry special. I wonder if he's still doing that. Now it's like
interesting.
$69. You walk in, just grab them when you go out, and
Pretty.
all right. So there's a love it or leave it. You guys pretty much left everything though.
I
Is there anything you love? What do you love on Valentine's Day?
don't really like. I like my kids being excited about it and being like, "I love you guys," and giving them a little something, and that's really it. I mean,
What do you make of this whole bring everybody at school of Valentine's? I guess for a while that was kind of done away with, right?
So Zoe's school, like middle school, didn't do anything. The boys can bring in Valentines. Landry has opted not to do it the last 2 years. So the last year he wanted to bring a Valentine was first grade, but he still got some. And then we always give the teacher like a Valentine and a gift card. But Milo printed little cupids on his 3D printer for everybody in his class.
Did he really?
So he printed them out, and then he wrote like on an index card from Milo, and we taped it to the card. So he like made his Valentines, which was kind of fun.
On his 3D printer.
Yeah.
That kid's gonna rule the world, by the way. I'm keeping an eye on that kid. He's definitely gonna rule the world.
Yeah, he's smarter than I am. He's
in a good way.
7.
But you have to. I am old enough to remember you could bring in Valentines for certain people. You didn't have to bring them in for everybody.
Oh, that's so sad. That like makes my heart break for like certain kids.
And now they do it. They
say
give
you
you the
have,
list
yeah,
of
and you
all
have
26
to.
kids in Ruby's class. And
Which I'm surprised.
Teachers.
I'm surprised that they give the list of names like they do it with the boys' school too. It's like it would be easy to just write like he just wrote from Milo, and then you put one in everybody's.
Oh no, there we were last night.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Writing out 26 names for Ruby, another 11 for Ari, and again all the teachers.
It's good for them. Yeah, but like one year we did like I bought all kinds of stuff, and we made like little gift bags. It was like fidget spinners and poppets, and like we sat there with all 3 kids. And
it used to be you just gave the little heart. Everybody got the same little cutout heart or a sticker, the red or the pink.
And this year they're not allowing candy at the kids, so because a lot of the Valentines now are like a Fun Dip Valentine or a Skittles where you just write the name, but they're not allowing food.
What's a good vegan Valentine?
Well, Oreos are vegan. Skittles are vegan. Starbursts are vegan. You can get vegan chocolate.
Okay.
Or nothing.
Yeah, because this list here, pretty much everything.
I'm going to leave it. This is what I think about this list.
Such a cynic about Valentine's Day. All right. We've been close to an hour here.
That looks like a origami swan or something. Look at how I smash paper.
It's good quality paper we have over here in the Chamber of Commerce office. Lindsay, thank you. Thanks. First time on the Daily Pulse. First time on any of my podcasts. We got to get the young professionals back in action, though.
We do.
Because obviously people my age need to learn about your generation, because I am obviously totally lost.
Maybe, I'll say next year we can ask all the young professionals their thoughts on the Valentine's Day
Love it or
themes.
leave it.
I think I'm definitely in the minority with that.
Yeah, you're a strange one.
Those views.
Danielle McFadden, candidate, Lowell School Committee, President, Chamber of Commerce, Inside Lowell, contributor, all those hats. One more, give your website and info folks want to learn more about
I'm on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Danielle McFadden for Lowell.
All right.
And my Gmail name is April 3rd at Mount Pleasant.
All right. Gmail is?
Danielle McFadden for Lowell at gmail.com.
All right. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for joining us as well here on this special Valentine's Day edition of the Daily Pulse. Can you feel the love in the air? Do you realize now why everybody gets mad at me and hates me? Anyway, thanks for joining us. It's been a great week here on the Inside Lowell Daily Pulse. Remember, you can watch this episode. It drops at noon every day, but you can watch it whenever. You can go back and watch old episodes, new episodes. Next week, Marty Laurie is going to join us, Monday with Marty. I believe City Councilor Eric Gitchier is due to join us the day after the City Council meeting. Joe Marie Buckley is going to join us here. We'll talk about the town of Tewksbury and everything else going on in the world. And then we'll have a mini power hour. Batch and Han will join us. Michaela Honduras McCarthy unable to join us next Friday, so we'll swap out the pod squad with a little mini power hour joining us. Lots of stuff going on. Who else? Who knows what else is going on? But every day, the Inside Lowell Daily Pulse here at InsideLowell.com. Till next time, everybody have yourself a great weekend. Stay safe during the snowstorm. We'll talk to you Monday morning.